Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, hi, you are audible.
Okay, okay.
Is this Ali?
Yeah, Ali here. Just wait for a
Yeah,
few
hi,
minutes.
Ali.
Yeah, to join some other people, and then we will continue.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Today I had a discussion with the admin team. They told two more people are joining now. So
Okay,
let's wait for those people.
okay.
Have you seen the document I sent today morning about day one question answers?
Yeah, I have seen Ali.
Okay. Yeah, in the document, if you want any additional information, please let me know. So
Okay,
accordingly, I will update the document. Today
okay,
also, I
sure.
changed the format of the document little bit. I will show you that how it looks. So
Okay,
along with that, if you want some other details also, please let me know in
okay,
depth.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
Ali.
Okay, we will wait one more minute. Otherwise, we will start. Let's wait for only 2 minutes because it's wasting our time.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, the problem. Okay. Do you have any questions for the yesterday day one? How much we covered? I know like last part of that is still pending. I'm going to cover that today. Last two questions. But apart from that, any other questions do you have?
Okay, I have one interview question. So they are asking day-to-day activities of the estate, like what
Okay.
will happen from morning till evening in the sprint. So like
Hmm.
that they are asking. So if you can answer that, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're asking for you for your team. What is the there or like a general answer they want?
Yeah, they asked generic.
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, yeah, I will tell you what I am doing nowadays in my company. So accordingly, you can also tell yours also.
Okay, sure, Raleigh.
2 minutes. I'm downloading the today's this one. Windows is good actually. Hmm.
Ali, so all 16 years you were in automation?
No, 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 not 16 years. It is almost two, three, 6 year to 5 years, 5 6 years into manual one. And then
Okay.
what is this remaining in 2000? Uh, what is that? 2014 I started automation with Selenium. 13 14.
Okay.
Yeah. So that onwards, it's to into Selenium and Java. Before that, we are using this HP QTP. QTP
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so that was there, and then before that, I was into the kind of admin job of support supporting using the VB scripting. That is a kind of a coding job, customization job.
Okay.
Yeah, so that customization to support to here I am shift to testing because both are using VB scripting as a backend, both the coding. So
Okay.
that I shifted here. Okay, let me download last file and then we can start. Is anyone joined in the call? Okay, yeah. Thank you for joining.
Vishal joined. Hi,
Hey,
Vishal.
okay, now let me share my screen.
Hello.
This, yeah, hi, hello. I'm just starting my sharing my screen, but this docx is having some alignment issue. I spent a lot of time today just to do the formatting of the document, and it's not working now. I don't know what's the format happened. Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see the documentation for me from my side? Day one documentation.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just quickly, 1 minute. Yeah. Vishal, have you seen yesterday's session? Because day one we
Uh,
covered a couple of.
no,
Uh,
actually, I missed that session. And,
Okay, okay. So in the yesterday's session, we already discussed couple of questions regarding the basic installation and what is a mindset of the people and SDET job and QA job. Okay. So
mhm.
maybe yeah, once you have some time, go to the video recording also. And
Yeah.
in the WhatsApp group, I send this document also, day one document. Okay. So from
Okay.
yesterday's session, because there was some issue with from me and I'm unable to join initial 10 minutes. So
Mhm.
we are not able to complete the two questions. So today we are going to complete discuss those two questions from day one, and then we will jump into the day two session. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have any questions in tomorrow's session, you can ask to me. I will answer you for the day one and day two. Okay. So let's
Okay.
jump into this call. So what is the pending from yesterday's one? Yeah. Okay. Coming to your question, Aruna, I'm expecting one more person to join. But okay, let's quickly answer your question, and then I will start about the so the day-to-day job of a QA, of SDET, what is happening nowadays in my team? Okay, so total we have two QAs, okay, manual QAs and one automation guy, SDET guy. So what is happening now? We have a sprint of 1 week in my company. We follow the agile, and agile is very fast. Fast in the sense, some company follow for 1 month, some company follow for 2 weeks, and my company follow for 1 week. So what is meaning of that agile is Wednesday is a day when we move the changes to the production. Okay, have you understand this environment of Wednesday? Okay, and why we choose
Yes.
Wednesday? Because Saturday, Sunday we get it. In case of any lagging or in case of any kind of lagging the problem, or if we face any unexpected issues, that we can solve on the Saturday, Sunday weekends also. We got 2 days. Okay, so that's what the management decide to go on Wednesday. Now, what we do Wednesday to next Wednesday? Okay, so Thursday, for example, we start developing the developers start developing the new feature. Okay, so Thursday and Friday they took 1 or 2 days to implement it. Actual new development. Now that new development is handed given to the QA team, manual QA team, because that's a completely new feature. Okay, or
Okay.
maybe the existing functionality change in existing functionality. So the manual team they test it properly, what are the issues and new defect fixes. Okay, now once that is done, then they assign the ticket to the automation guy. Okay, there is only one automation guy in my team. Okay, so they assign it to automation guy. the automation guy, what he did, he always follow sprint -1. What is the meaning of sprint -1? The last sprint, whatever the testing is done, that automation will do in current agile. In that automation will do in the current sprint.
Okay.
Have you getting it? So the last sprint, we move something changes to the production, and that execution is going on. I mean, the build is fine on the production side. The new feature, for example, forget password. The forget password is a new link. Okay, that is not earlier. So we moved the forget password to the production. Now Thursday, the what the automation guy is that people will do, he will pick up the story from the last sprint, and he will do the automation for it.
Okay.
So he
Got
get
it.
a stable build, and he will always follow sprint -1 automation guy. And the QA manual people, they will follow the active sprint, which is this week. So this way, the QA and SDET people are synced together. And once we automate these, then sprint +1, they will get the automation code to execute. Now what we have the Jenkins jobs set up daily morning. So the new automation, let's say the forget password, we automated new functionality in our new test case. So the manual team will execute it. The automation guy will just monitor, but the execution point of view, manual team only, QA manual, they will execute, and they see the pass and fail result. If that pass and fail is expected, then it's okay. If some additional failures are happening or something unexpected come up, then they assign the task back to the automation guy, saying like, regularly we are expecting 2 defects. Okay, only 2 failures should be available in our automation. Let's say we have 260 test cases. So for the 260 test cases, we are expecting only 2 automation should be failed, 2 test cases.
Okay.
So if more than two, some 2025 is failing, then what they did, they simply assign that report to the automation guy. Now automation guy go and debug in that why it is more than two. We are expecting only 2 active defects, then two should only fail. Why it is failing 20? So that pattern he analyzed, like what exactly changes happened in last build, and that automation guy will do two things: maintenance of the existing test cases and adding a new test cases. So that is like a weekly sprint task for the automation SDET guy. Any other
Okay.
questions we have?
Yeah, how many developers are there in the team? I mean, developers
Seven.
are also in the same team, right?
Yeah.
Developers, two manual QA and one automation
One
QA.
automation
How many
QA.
developers were there?
Seven developers in my team,
Okay, okay.
because all together scattered in different time zones. So one is kind of overlapping other. So that's what the continuous work is going on. So that is the
Okay.
thing in my team. So maybe this is like a happy path of one sprint, but frankly speaking, the one sprint is too much headache. Okay, in my last company we are following 2 week sprint. That is little bit fine, because in that we get 2 weekends to work. Something is happening, then we get 2 Saturdays and days in between. So it is easy to manage the work and little bit. But here in my company, 1 week is too much fast. That's what is
Okay.
the problem. What is the problem of 1 week is we are not going with much changes. Like we are going with only little changes in all the week. So instead of
Okay.
five stories to complete, 5 tickets to complete, we are going only with 2 or 3 tickets only. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a disadvantage. But advantage is like, okay, customer will get high priority defects or high functionality features immediately within a week. So that is a plus and minus points. Okay, now I think we are expecting people, and those people are joined. So let's continue today's session.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think you can see my document, day one document, right? So Sanjeev, just one quick update to you. Yesterday we missed 2 questions from the day one. So we are just continuing those 2 questions, and then we will jump into day two. Okay. Okay. The question
Yeah,
is,
okay, okay.
yeah, the question is, how would you guide a junior engineer to install and configure Java IDE, Eclipse, okay, those GitHubs on their machines? So that is just kind of a mid to senior person question, okay? Like how he collaborate the team management, how he's dealing with the team members, okay? Just to answer. So the best answer to give this is definitely I will follow. I will help him whatever he wants to do, the junior QA, the questions he asks. But along with that, I will create a video or documentation. You can see that's what I have highlighted this one, because always giving a full time to this new person for 2 hours, 3 hours is not possible. So what I will do, I will definitely go and explain him all the details. I will go step by step here. But along with that, first of all, I will try to build a video, a small demo video or documentation, which will explain what to do to the new joining in our team. Okay. So now that is number one. So it will save my time in next time. Next time I don't need to again spend 2 to 3 hours and sitting with him, but just to give the document first. If he is unable to understand the document, if he has any questions, he can come back to me. Now what we will do, what we will help him to do is definitely the installation, because he got a completely blank laptop. So we help him to install the JDKs. I mean, this is a very lengthy document, guys. Just to be clear, lot of points which is coming in my mind, I added into that. So whenever you get time, I'm sending this document daily to you guys. Whenever you go, guys, get some time, please go in depth of that. I will just cover high level in that. If you have any questions, we will go in the specific topic in depth. Okay. So for the new junior engineer, what I am going to help him to install the JDK. First of all, set up all the paths in that his machine. I mean, definitely, if he is a new joinee and experienced person, he will not ask this kind of questions. But if he's a college pass out or some fresher guy, we have to help him. Another thing is, we can quickly check the versions, because the team, all team together should be on the same version. If any version mismatch, then there is a problem in future. Another thing is, it's fine. I mean, it's up to him, like what choice he want to use. Even in my company, so a couple of people are using IntelliJ, a couple of people are using Eclipse. But if all together is on one IDE, that is easy to debug the code. Okay, that things we will set up for him on his machine. Then basic Git commands, just to be getting the cloning the repository from the our company's GitHub to the local machine. And at the end, couple of things like JUnit and Maven and all those stuff we will help in. Now what is a real scenario, because that is all theoretical concept, but what actually is happening is, um, yeah, a small suit. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I want to bold this one. A small smoke suit, what we can help the guy to execute by himself. Okay, so we can give him the command how to execute, and that command he can use, and he can we can confirm like his local laptop and new machine is working fine with the setup what we have did till now. Okay, and again, as per his feedback, the feedback from the new joinee, we can update our documentation, and maybe we can add a couple of new videos for the new people who is coming up. Any question here on this question? Any question, doubts?
Yeah, I have one question about the Java version. So you
Okay.
mentioned Java 17. So suppose if we are starting a new project, is it okay to start with JDK 17?
Yeah, I mean, no. This question is focusing on the team new joining. What you are asking is your own practicing by your individual stuff. This is just an example, actually, not. It's like example. What it's
Okay.
saying is official distribution we have to download. Some company, what? Okay, in my last company, what people are doing, we are not officially allowed to go to any third party website like Oracle or any company to download any kind of dependency or so. What we are doing, we have to request the IT team, and we have to get the access for the JFrog. So that is nothing but
Okay.
a internal tool, internal repository to us, and all the software needs to download from that specific only. Because sometimes kind of to be safety and malware attacks will happen, so they will not allow us to go from the any open source website. Okay, so we have to
Okay.
get that official distribution, whichever it may be, companies internal stuff or maybe from external stuff. So that is a just example actually I given, not exactly 17.
S-
For your own
So
practice, I
how
would,
to decide version? No, I'm not
yeah.
asking about my practice. Suppose in a new company, so they ask to start a new project. So
Mhm.
then which version we can choose?
We have to ask the team what version they are using it, because at the end all teams should be syncing. Okay, they always
Okay,
sync
so
together.
do we need to ask the developers?
Yes, not the developers, but other QAs in your team, what version they are using, which ID they are using, all this, which Maven dependency on which dependency versions they are using. We have to ask them only. That's what initial one half an hour to 1 hour we can spend with one of the senior guy in the team. That number one question, and understand from him like what are you guys are using. Okay, and then those only we will install in our on our laptop. If any mismatch is there, then definitely in future some other problem will come up. Not exactly 17, I'm not, no, this is just example, not exactly 17, but based on your company or your team's infrastructure, what they are using. I hope I given the answer.
No, you are saying already existing team,
Yes.
Ali. Suppose if a new project, new team is set up, then maybe they ask the framework, they ask to build the framework for me. So then
Okay.
which version I can choose?
Always go to latest one, whichever it may be Selenium, it may be Cucumber, it may be Java, whatever things are there. Always it's recommended by the official documentation also to go with the latest version.
Okay.
But if it is existing project, because they have not yet moved to, for example, in my current
Yeah.
company also, we are still on Selenium 3. We have not yet migrated to Selenium 4. But lot of
Okay.
features are there in Selenium 4. We can easily do it without using in Selenium 3. Lot of dependency we are adding to make that task do for Selenium 4. But instead of doing that, simply we can go to Selenium 4. That's inbuilt feature available, like network logs, okay, console logs, that easily we can get in Selenium 4. But in Selenium 3 also we are capable of doing it. But for that again we have to install some other dependency. So team to team, and it depends, right? So it's up to
Okay,
you.
got it.
Yeah, go with the latest one. That's a official recommendation. Any other questions?
No, that's all, Ali.
Okay, yeah. Going to the last question of the day one. um, Oh yeah, after installing on all this stuff, how you can ensure like the configuration what you did is correct for the guy, the newly coming up. Okay, so that's what actually I think it's already covered in the above question. So we will do the smoke test. We will quickly go to his laptop, and a small set of automation we will execute from him. Let's say we have a full regression which contains 260 test cases, but we have a small smoke testing suite which contains only 50 test cases. Okay, so we will, with the help of his local machine, on his local machine we will go and check like all the versions what he has done is correct. And number two is a small smoke test we can execute from his machine, so that we ensure like yeah, all execution is working fine. Again, you go in the depth of this one, the commands and all help I have given in this word documentation. Okay, so it's a simple thing like on his local laptop, if he's capable of executing a small suite or not, that's it. And just a couple of other tools and commands I have explained here. I think these two questions are actually combined into one. That will be better. How would you guide a junior engineer to install? Huh? And once installation is done, how you will verify everything is correctly configured? Okay, okay, huh? So simple. The answer is simple. One line answer is just to execute a small set of test cases, like something smokes suit, and then confirm that execution is working fine. Okay. Any other questions on day one? Now we will switch to day two. It's already
No other
2:30.
question, Ali.
Yeah, thank you. Let's jump into. Actually, we are lagging with the 24 minutes. Yeah, let me know if you guys can see day two.
Yeah, able to see.
Okay, okay, thank you. Um, okay. Let me maximize that one. Hmm. Is this zoom is fine, or should I zoom it out a little bit more?
Little bit
No,
more.
it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Okay, so maybe day two onwards, it's a practical things are going on nowadays. Now in day two, okay. So yeah, you know this already planned. What is day two and or day three? So I'm not going to discuss that, but yeah, like high level classes, encapsulation, and couple of utilities and OOPS concepts in real world. We will discuss in that. Okay, today. Now coming to the question number one, how would you explain the difference between the classes and an object in Java? Okay, that's very common question nowadays. For the junior person, at least less than 5 years, they will ask this question. Okay, how and how they are related to at the runtime. So, what is the best answer? First of all, the in this day two, actually, I changed the little way of explanation. Okay, so this theoretical concept you guys already know. Huh? So what I divided the question answer into multiple parts. First, a quick question definition as per the knowledge and theoretical concept. Second, how it is applicable in our Selenium in my existing, for example, existing framework, what I am using, and some advanced topic on that. Okay, because three level explanation of the same questions will go and understand some deeper knowledge. So let's understand this question. Okay, so question is talking about what is the difference between class and object in Java. Okay, so just a quick reminder, because you already guys know and you already completed the course for the maybe SDET. So just high level. So class is a blueprint, and object is a real thing which we deals with. The object has its own instances and its own methods. Okay, that's a high level concept. Now, a quick example of class and object is class is nothing but a house plan. Like if you want to construct a new house, then it's nothing but a plan, and object is actual real house. Okay, which is come from the design. High level. Just in case you go and understand in depth what I am talking about here. Now, coming to the actual example, this is what mainly I will focus on. Okay, so actually in our automation framework, how to explain this one, class and object. Okay, so we have a class is nothing but what, it's a login page. For example, login page is one of the page object model I design it, and for that class login page object, I intentionally added this object here to identify clearly difference between these two. Okay, so this, what it tells to us is, this is a class name. Class name always start with the capital one. Okay, and object name will start from the lowercase. Okay, that is easy to understand. And with the help of the class name, I think here I missed it. Yeah, object, sorry. Yeah, with the help of the object, we call the methods of that class. Okay, any questions on this pattern? And we can give the example of login page, and what is a class and what is object here, and couple of like best practices, camel case and Pascal case, just for the naming convention here. Okay, coming to the deeper level understanding of what is the object and class, let's go in deep. Okay, so at the execution time, at the runtime, what happens? At the run, when the JVM loads the class, like which class in our example, we have discussed about the login page class. Okay, when JVM loads the login page class, it creates a meta object of the specific class. Okay, Java lang class. And that is what actual representation of the class in load time, in runtime in Java. Okay, number one. Number two, the important one, the class loader loads the class. Okay, login.class in the JVM definitely. And what we can with the help of the object, what we can do, we can access its methods. Okay, every time we call the new method, this one new keyword, I'm focusing on this new one. Okay, what happens every time when we call new method, the JVM uses the load class metadata, what is on the top, this one. Okay, please understand this sequence. So every time we'll call the new object, new class object. So what it happens, the JVM uses the load classes metadata to allocate a new object in a heap. Heap is nothing but a memory allocation. Okay, and it allocate a new object in the heap for the login page. Okay, next the each object has its own copy of instance. So this is important in case of parallel execution. Parallel execution will not overlap with each other because of this heap allocation. Heap allocation is different for each object. Okay, and each object has its own copy of instance. In our case, username, because what we are dealing with here is username to enter in the login page. I think that example is not included here, but yeah, login username, the current username is one of the what we can say web element what we use to send the username. So each object has its own copy of instance like username. Okay, while static field shared across the all the objects, because finally, I mean, if we use something like static final object, definitely that is not going to change and that is shared between the multiple objects. But in this case, the without statics content will be it's a their own copy. That is a very important thing. Now next one, you can even see the relationship between the get name. If you want to get exactly the full path of the class, what you can do, you can execute this command. Okay, and you will see the output as this one, system.println. If you do, you will see this one, com.company.pages, the login page. Because why it is getting, because from the metadata we are calling a get name for the class. Okay, in actual real framework, how it is happening now, we do the browser load. Okay, I mean, we launch the browser, we close the browser. So that time, what this is a base test we use to do some kind of a specific global task, which is frequently used. We use the base test class. So base test is a class which is defined like a highest super class. Okay, now I mean, it has super class in our framework, but there are other different super classes. I'm not going to discuss that one. But as per our framework, this is a superclass base test, for example. So this is an example of class. And what is the example of and why we are using this class? Just to set up and close the browser, some kind of a reporting hooks in case of Cucumber. Okay, we are using this one. Now, what is object? Object in this case is an instance of the WebDriver. What we individually calling on each page, like login page, the home page, the dashboard page. Okay, so forget password, my account page. So all individual objects is nothing but a sorry, all individual web drivers is nothing but an object. So this is a real-time example from our automation framework. Okay, any questions on this one? What is difference between the class and object? That's actually main question, and there are multiple like conceptual, how it is automation is going on, and in our framework and deeper knowledge. That's the four sections. I divide one question into four parts. Any questions on this question? I mean, it's very
La
long
No.
document. Yeah, please. It is. I'm sorry to say that, but it's very long document. And in a day of 1 hour, I have to cover 8 questions. So this is only first question we covered, and we took almost 10-15 minutes for this question. So yeah, please bear with me. I mean, just if you have any question on the spot, you can ask to me. Okay. So okay. So this is just a difference between the class and object with different concept, automation selenium, and in our actual framework. Coming to the question number 2, okay, which is very commonly asked question again. What is a constructor and what is the difference between the constructor and the regular method? Okay, I mean, it's all Java questions because we are here in this day 2. We're not focusing on any kind of programming skills because this is again the conceptual part. In the maybe I think it's a day 4 or day 5. In that day 4, day 5, we will doing the actual manipulations. I mean, actual code we are using in Eclipse to showcase the string reverse and palindrome and all those methods we will use that time. Those questions are there, but this day 2 is focusing only on the high level conceptual, where the constructor you use and what is the difference between regular methods and constructor. That kind of questions are here. Okay. Okay, coming back to the question. Yeah, what is a constructor in Java? What are the key rules and how it is different from the regular method? Very common question in interview they ask. Now, as common things, we know this one. Constructor is a what? Just similar to the method. Okay, but just the main thing is like when it is called, it initiate the new object instance. the constructor is a special block of code, okay, that runs when the object is created. As soon as we type the new method, okay, new, for example, uh, new equals to new and the class name. So as soon as we call the new method, so this constructor get called internally, okay, which is again a method. Yes, it's a similar to method only, but it is when an object is created, that time only it get called. Now, what is the main purpose of the constructor? Its main job is to initialize the new object state and couple of behavior of that class. Sorry, of that object. He managed the behavior also. And yeah, I mean it's a field and just example they are given a WebDriver. Okay, next one. Yeah, this is just one example. Like this is a login page. Login page is a constructor in this example, but we are not explicit, I mean not calling it. As soon as the new method get called, it is internally calling the login page method. Okay, that's what it explains here. The login page constructor is what connects that page object, okay, the page object, to the correct WebDriver instance. Now, there might be a possibility like for the constructor, we not always give the only one parameter. We can pass multiple parameters. So again, that is, I think in the follow-up question is there. Let's see, if it is not covered, I will cover the next point. But there's a follow-up question. Can we do the overriding and overloading with the constructor? That is again question come up in the interview. It's a very common question again. So the answer for that is we can overload the constructor, but not the override. Okay, so that is the answer for it. But we will go in depth for it because I saw the driver is passing in this parameter, so I remember that question. But yeah, that is a high level. Now, so there we have to follow a couple of strict rules for the constructor, and then only it become constructor. Otherwise, it will be a regular method. Okay, what is the common factors we have to consider? Constructor name matches the class name. Exactly, it should be matched. Even though if you write 1, 2, 3 or ABC or some lowercase and other things, it will not act as a constructor. Number one. Number two, they don't have any return type. It never written anything. Okay, the login page constructor I'm talking about, they never return any. They don't have any return type. Next, yeah, I mean, we don't need to explicitly call this one. It will get automatically called as soon as the new keyword is get executed. And if we don't define one, the Java gives you a default no argument constructor. That means if I'm not going to define this specifically, then by default I'm getting a constructor without this driver parameter in that. So that's a high level just concept. Now, yeah, I think yeah, it's explained here that what I was talking about. So they can be overloaded but not override. That's very common and confusing questions they ask in the interview to confuse the confidence of the interviewer. Can we overload and override the constructor? So answer is we can overload but not the override. Okay. Yeah, what is the difference between the regular method and constructor? Yes, regular method represent the behavior action, okay, you can perform on an existing object, whereas the constructor represents how you build that object. Okay, the building method, how we are calling that object, like how many parameters we are passing it. Okay, the main difference is the return type. Constructor has no return type. That's very important difference between the method. Okay, method and constructor. Then method can be called many times on the same object, but constructor can get called only once per object. This is also one of the important thing. Okay, actually this is a confusing question between the parallel execution. When we do the parallel execution, that time the interviewer asks then how the constructor is going to deal, because in case of parallel execution, each object acting as an individual their own space. Okay, and that is what constructor will not get affected. It will be a constructor of that own space. I think just now we discussed about question. um, it has their own space of the object. I think in JVM their own instance. So in case of parallel execution, they have their own calling of the constructor, and it is happening in their own space, so it will never get overlapped with each other. Okay, so that is actually just a tricky questions in case of parallel execution, and how it get multiple times, because once we see say in the interview, like we cannot call a constructor many times and we can call methods many times. Okay, so immediately the question they will ask, then how the parallel execution will happen when we go and execute Selenium grid, let's say 10 parallel browser launch together, then what is the concept? So then concept is like this: the method will call many times, but constructor will get called only once per object, and object has their own individual space. Okay, now next difference is, okay, I think you just go and read the difference. I will focus on the real-time example only. Okay, real-time Selenium Java Cucumber example. Okay, again, please focus on the question. What is the question? Constructor and a method. Okay, along with the constructor and method, you have to define your example, real-time example. Now, in the page object initialization, you know that's how the page object model works together. In the page object model, constructor is this one. Okay, you can see it's highlighted with the bold color. Why? Because its name is same for both of the things. Login name, class name, and the constructor name is same. Okay, and in this above example, what it is, constructor here takes the WebDriver as a dependency and call the init method. Okay, this is init method again, and once connect all find by. Now this init method internally calls this find by. I think you already a little bit familiar about page object model. In the page object model, we are using this annotation. Okay, every time the step definition, okay, this step definition is talking about the Cucumber actually. So Cucumber, in the case of Cucumber practical example, whenever the step definition, every time the step definition does a new login page, the constructor guarantees the page object is not in valid state because any calls login. Because again, steps may be called multiple times. Okay, step definition can be called in, let's say I have a 10 test cases, 10 scenarios in Cucumber, and the step definition is common. Out of 10, 6 times I'm using the same definition. So that way, this will be acting as an individual own space for that specific scenario of the step definition. Next, login. I mean, just an example, login and return type. We already discussed this one. Not a big deal. This pattern keeps that step definition clean and testable because all the connection between the constructors and not scattered multiple methods. Next, the first topic what we discussed now is page object initialization. That is one of the example where the constructor is in use. Another example is the overloaded constructor. That is also one of the example in which case you will use it. Okay, so in one of the base project, we can use the two constructor. Now, if you observe carefully, this is a class name. This is a constructor one, constructor two, and what we are doing, what we are doing with these two constructor is based on the time we are passing some timeout. So this method of driver for, let's say this is a Chrome driver, okay, and this is a Firefox driver. So in case of Chrome driver, we always go with a static value of 10 seconds to wait. Okay, but in case of other Firefox, what we are doing is let's say example, we are going with some dashboard and reports. The report takes some time to load into the page, so we cannot go with a 10 second. It might be taking 15 seconds, it might take 14 seconds. Okay, so in that case, actual timeout we will pass from the driver, and that is gets called. So just high level, constructor is our main question. So to the stick to the question, what we can say, in case of base page, we can have multiple constructor which will define WebDriver based on the parameters what we are passing to it. And this is very simple example of passing the time, how much time it has to wait. Any questions till now? Otherwise, we will move to the next question on the constructor and what is the difference between the regular method. And any example? Do you want one more example for the constructor? methods, because it's a little bit. I would like to give you some time actually. This is a very lengthy document we created. Out of the 10 points, even you remember 6 7 points at the time of interview, that's also enough. But just to be clear, and notes to should be along with you before the interview, you can go and quickly refer to these notes. Okay, that's what I given some examples here, lengthy examples here. Any questions on the constructor? Otherwise, we'll go to the next question,
No
which is
question.
Say I have a base class. I have a
mhm.
base class. I have a derived class.
Okay.
From derived class constructor, I have to send some values to base class constructor. How
Yes,
would
correct.
you send it?
So we have to extend the base class in that derived class, right? That's what we are saying. All you have one derived class which is using the base class. That's what you're
Correct.
asking. What is your question? Yeah.
How will you send the values from derived class constructor to base class constructor?
We will
We are
call the
super.
object.
Can we send?
No. We need to call the object. Right? Okay, yeah, super also fine. But we can even this call the method along with the parameter. Now clearly he said
Yeah.
that two difference.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, two differentiation here is driver and the timeout time. Here only driver. So which
Okay.
constructor you want to call, that depends upon your derived class. Let's say you have some class here which is calling this base method.
Got it. Got it.
Any other questions? Anyone?
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's jump into the next question. What is encapsulation in object-oriented programming, and how do access the modifier help achieve it in the Java? Simple. Just to remember in your mind always, encapsulation is similar to the tablet. Medicines, we go to medical pharmacy and we buy some tablet. And you might be at the childhood time, we open the tablets with coming with a plastic small circle, and you can see inside that lot of some small dot medicines is there. So that is nothing but an encapsulation. A lot of methods get covered, or lot of methods and functionality get covered with a single packet. Okay, so that is an encapsulation. Let's say go by definition. Yeah, encapsulation is one of those concept that sounds academic. I mean, it's a theoretical concept, but it is very practical in Selenium. Okay, let me give you a real-time example. You just go and get this. Okay, yes, this getter setter very commonly used in our getting the values from the Excel test data. Okay, for example, when we getting the test data from the Excel, all the getters and setter methods are here. So that internally what is happening is different part, but at the method at the step level, we're simply calling the getter and setter methods, and internally what is happening, it's their own code. So that is what encapsulation is happening. Let's jump into the real example. Okay, yeah, this is a simple page object model. We already used this page object model. I mean, we have hands-on. Now, the problem here is what I'm calling is only the login page. Okay, I am calling only login page. Uh, okay, okay, first of all, understand this one. We have a login page. Okay, then we have 1, 2, and 3 web element defined for it. Then we have a constructor, and then we have the method to log in. Just high level. Okay, in this one what we are doing is we are calling only login method. Simple. Internally we are passing only two parameters, username and password. What it does, okay, what it does, it's all encapsulated. It is not visible to the outside because login is a public method. Okay, you can see login is a public method. Any other class can call this login method, and he will simply pass username and password, and all internal parts will get headed from him, and that is nothing but an encapsulation. Okay, let's go to the description how this is how is this encapsulation. Okay, test code cannot directly type into the username and login button. Now, for example, uh, he has given the name username. Okay, yeah, it's here username. Now, if you carefully observe what we are doing it, first of all, we clear the input box. Okay, then we send the keys. Two steps. Now, let's say if it is not private, okay, it is public. Let's say this username input box, this one we define it as private, but let's say it's a public one. Now, because it is public, then any other method from outside this class can access this. Okay. Now, the guy who is doing this one, what he can do, simply a class name, then web element name and dot, and he will send the data. Okay, but he forgot to clear it. From that side, again he has to clear it from the method one. Let me see if I can draw an image here to better understand. I will just try to draw image. Oh, I think in the Teams it's not possible. Can you see my day 2 document again?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we can see.
Yes, sir. Actually, this is a blank space. Here, I want to draw some a kind of explanation to you guys how the flow is happening. But okay, I think I'm not able to draw it here. In the Zoom, that option is available. But okay, let's continue. I think this option is not available in the. It's not available here. Draw picture. Okay, continue. Okay. So basically, what I want to tell you, these two methods, just to give the input. Can you see what I highlighted one? This one highlighted stuff. So in this highlighted color, I am doing a clear username and then send key. These two actions I'm doing. But let's consider the mouse pointer is at this side, and now some other method, some other class is calling this username directly. Okay, and let's say now it is public. So in that case, he has to also call the clear method. Okay, he also needs to call the wait method, because all the wait and clear and send key all together internally managed. And because of this one, then your code is not what we can say reusable. It's not reusable. You have to do a lot of code changes. In future, something gets affected to the username input, then you have to do the changes here, and also do the changes at each level, each test case where you call. Okay, so that is what encapsulation will help us to just do the all together at one place and hide the other stuff like private element, and no one outside can access it directly without any login method. Okay. Yeah, the only way to interact is through the public methods, as we just saw above one. Login method is a public method, and no other direct way to accessing the username and ban. That's not actually not best practice, because any method can go and call it, then it's unnecessarily maintenance will be huge. In future, if something changes happens, so we have to do the maintenance of the code very badly. Okay, a lot of changes we have to do. Yeah, I mean that's what the ID gets changed to CSS, or the login flow needs to extra some steps. Okay, let's say the clear is not working, so we have to use call some JavaScript to clear the field. Okay, so that may happen. Sometimes we regular clear will not happen, not work fine. We have to call some JavaScript executor and then clear the field. So that changes we have to do at all the levels. Instead of that, if we define it only public one method for login, then only one place changes will enough for us. Okay. In case of Cucumber, let's understand. This is a method. User logins in with valid user credentials, valid credentials. Okay. This even the business person, like even the BA or non-technical person can easily understand, and he can call this method from the outside, whichever the scenario he's having in the feature file for the Cucumber. He can easily call this statement like this only. That's it. When and this statement. Internally, what is happening, all is hidden from him, and that is nothing but a encapsulation. Do you clear the encapsulation examples from the real example, or do you want some more examples for encapsulation?
Yeah, it's clear, Ali.
We are okay. We are okay.
Yeah, please go to the all the details document. It's already mentioned here, but just to be quickly, we want to move to next one. Again, this is again the methods of private, public, protected. They have explained it here, which level we use this all stuff. Okay. Okay, coming to the back to the real project. Okay, why this matter in real project? What is the importance? Okay, in an earlier project, I mean, just what we saw, before we enforce encapsulation steps definition, directly use the locator like this one. We can directly use the locator. It's again maintenance point of view, it's very huge. We just saw it. In case of future changes, we have to do a lot of changes here, and each method, each class, sorry, each test case where it is called. Okay. When the front-end team switches to the new IDs, added extra validations, almost 20 steps was broken. Okay, because of the only small change here. Again, you can see 20 test cases are broken because of the small change. Now, if we are not using the encapsulation, in that case, we have to go to 20 locations and modify this thing. So better, and future perspective maintenance point of view, always use the encapsulation. That's a just summary for this one. Okay, all the low level things, whatever the things we are doing for Selenium, we have to do it for the inside the methods, and only public methods should be there to do the high level things. Like what is the high level things in this Cucumber example is when yeah, in the Cucumber example is when user logs in with the valid credentials, do this action. That's it, simple. Okay, coming to the next question. I think we are again lagging with 5 minutes only. Okay. I need to little bit change the format. Do you have any other suggestions how we can quickly do this? Because if we go this speed, we are not able to achieve the 8 questions actually. So do you guys have any suggestions for me how we can cover this? Or this is a good way, or some suggestion in the way what I explained? Now, just why I'm asking this question is because today I have to cover 8 questions. Okay, but the time is gone. Almost only last 5 minutes is pending. 5 minutes I cannot cover another 5 questions within 5 minutes. So something I think we have to change the method of explanation. What do you suggest, guys? How we should go? The same way we can go, like a little bit. It will be time consuming actually for me. What is your suggestion?
Same way is right. Same way is right. Either we can increase the class duration or we can reduce the discussion times.
Yeah, because
Doubt
this is
clarification.
40 days class, and within the 40 hours you will be interview ready. That's a plan actually we have to give.
Understood.
So yeah, but I don't know. Okay, let me discuss this with my admin team actually from the this one,
Mm.
because each question I cannot explain within 5 minutes. It will definitely go
Yeah,
10 minutes. And we have to cover a lot of questions, right? And daily 8 9
correct,
questions are to
correct,
cover.
correct.
Okay, let's consider this is the only last question, and remaining we will continue in tomorrow's class. Okay. Actually, another problem is I'm using the Mac machine, and another machine I'm using the Windows machine. So what I did is this all sections I have given a very good what we can say alignments, and expand and collapse, and those all details I have given in that document. But because this document I open in the Mac machine, so that collapse button and all bullet points is not properly coming. It's plain text coming, but I have given very good colors actually while designing the document. But okay, the design document I will send you, and you have to open that in a docx file. Okay, this is something by default from Mac machine. So the all the formatting is gone actually, and it's plain text you can see here, which is not good. Okay, sorry, coming to the next question. Let's complete next 5-10 minutes this question. uh, yeah, explain the 4 access modifiers in the Java, blah 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 blah. Okay, and with example use when you would use each time. Oh, okay. Okay. In this case, they are not only high level asking you what is the blah blah blah. This is just a definition. I mean, definition from the Java documentation: public, private, protected, where to use. No, this is not the thing. We want a real example. Okay. Now let's say in the real example, yeah, this is a page object model, correct? And I think the same. Yeah, it's the same what we discussed some time back. So here is we are using private one. Private, what is access modifier? You can see we all our web element we define as a private. Then the method which is calling outside, we are declaring as a public one. Okay, so use the private for the fields and help method that no one outside the class should touch. Okay, within the class we can touch it. The login page is the class, and within the class we can touch the private one. Okay, just very easy and quick couple of best practice when I use it, and that's example. Coming back to the public one, yes, we know that public one when to use it. High level business actions on the, yeah, exactly, page object model, like add to cart, place order. In case of e-commerce business, we simply call add to cart. Okay, now internally what add to cart is doing, it do a lot of things, and that add to cart is nothing but a public, because many times in the e-commerce website, many times we have to call this add to cart with login, without login. Lot of scenarios are there to call this method. But as soon as we call it, it is a public method. Okay, because it's very commonly used. Protected, yeah, that's important actually. Protected, as I think some just now you asked a question. When we protected is a framework internals that class accesses can reuse, but the steps cannot be. Okay, let me go back to the definition here on the top. Okay, visible, the protected methods is visible in the same package. That's very important actually. Okay, so the protected methods is visible only in the same package and the subclasses of other package. If anyone extended this class, okay, so that subclasses also can be using the protected one. So it is only limited to the same package. So this is one of the important one. But practically, let's see where it is used. Okay, base test. Yeah, exactly. So base test, we are using it, and we have some common methods like click when the click label. Okay, type when it's visible. So for example, if one element name is given, and we have to click on that element only when the it is clickable. So that time we use this method, but this method is again where it is in the base class. So and again it is a protected one. So what is the meaning of that? The base the class which extends the base class can only call this method. Okay, so that is what the concept of the same package. Okay, otherwise the package which extend the base class. That is one of the example. Maybe you can see this code, and yeah, you can see here they have extended the login page. The login page extend the base class. So that's what easily, even it's a protected one. Yeah, this one, click when clickable. So even it's a protected one, we can call this, okay, in the login page, because it extends the base test. Okay, there might be example here. Yeah, type when visible, that's what we are calling it, and we don't need to give the object. Why? Because it's already extends it. Okay, so no need to call by with the help of object. Directly we can call the method. Even the protected methods from the base, it come here easily. There are a couple of like some what we can say, best example, like base page, base test. Okay, base steps. In case of Cucumber, we use this kind of a protected one. It's not actually hard and fast rule, but yeah, I mean, we can use protected or private, both we can use, but not the public is kind of a bad coding practice. Okay, we can always use depending upon the which scenario we want to use, private or protected. Public just only for limited methods only. Okay, coming to the next one. Yeah, just now we discussed about it one. This is one of the interview tricky question. Okay, so if someone did not explicitly mention what is access modifier for this, like, access modifier is like what, public, private, and protected. But someone say no, I don't want to define anything, and it is a default. So default is nothing but a package private. Okay, so what is meaning of package private? Within the package only that default element get accessed. Okay, so here is a small example for that one they have given. So the package private, you can see package, this is a package name. Okay, this is a package name, and there is a one method default, this one, local class, sorry, local driver dot manager. In this package, this is a package name, com.mycompanyframework. So in the package, we can call this class. Why? Because it's a default one, and default is nothing but a package private. That's very important. And I mean, practically not much we always define the only, but sometimes they just to confuse the interviewer, they ask in case of we did not mention anything, then why, how it act as a package private. That's the answer for that question. And where we use within the class, within the package, whenever we want to access it, the same package, the package which is calling from remote reporter manager, easily call the default method package like this. Okay, that's an example for it. Yeah, just here is like couple of tips I have given to you, how this impress and how the interviewer like this one. Okay, so best level is in the real project, the modified tools are 4 we just discussed, and by using these methods, Selenium framework become easier to maintain. And when okay, actually I would like to add one thing here. As when you go the top level, as a lead SDET or like senior SDET or like a principal QE, that time this is very important, the access modifiers. All in one of my last company, the senior team who designed the base class, okay, and base page, those people always deal with this one only, private and protected one. Those I think just now we discuss one thing here. This one, the base page, base test, base steps, all these classes, the people who is a senior in the team, they define it. And those people mostly using it as a private one and protected one. And the junior team member who do the regular daily adding of the test cases, maintenance of the test cases, okay, those people are mostly dealing with the public methods only, or public method, public elements, okay. So that's a just high level thing. Any question on this one, guys? The question was about
No, no.
the question was about the access modifiers and where practically we use this. I would like to you just to go the document at your own space, okay? As step by step you can learn and think. Think and stop whenever you have any question. Go back on top and just quickly up and down. You can see the documentation. That is how it's easy to understand. Because a little bit, I'm sorry for that, but little bit I'm going fast because I have to cover 8 to 9 questions in a one single session. So let's see how the things will go here. I will talk with the management team from the Isha Solutions how we can deal with this. Either we have to extend the time, or otherwise we have to reduce the content questions for it. Yes, we have other questions also for today, but I'm not permitting the time for it. So I think we should stop now only. Okay. I'm going to send this document to you, and this onwards tomorrow we will continue in this session. Okay. Any questions, guys? Until today, whatever I explained, day 1, day 2.
No questions, Ali.
Yeah. Thank you so
No
much. I'm
questions
going to
here.
send this document, and if you have any suggestions, also please let me know. Maybe in tomorrow's session we will discuss any suggestions. So according to your pace of understanding, I will modify my way of explanation. Okay, so that will do. And I'm going to
Yeah.
showcase my Eclipse also. That setup is going on in my laptop. So that's what I did not share that yet. In that, I'm adding couple of extend report, earlier report examples also. I mean, that's again next part in the day 2025. We are going to cover that, but just I'm adding from my side in that automation framework, and the same framework I will give to you, and you can utilize it as per your understanding. Okay, thank you
Okay.
guys. Thank you
Super.
so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you for your time. Yeah, sorry for the 10 minutes late. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
It's
bye
okay.
bye.
It's okay.
No problem, Ali.
Yeah, thank you.